All right, so today on the deep dive, we are picking up a story that's already in progress.
Very cool.
It's kind of like, you know when you find a book and it's open to the middle?
Uh-huh.
You're just like, wait a minute, how did this all start?
Yeah, yeah.
And so we've got a bunch of different perspectives on the same set of events.
Right.
And it starts with this kind of strange incident at a local high school.
Okay.
We've got two students, Tom and Rafa. They've been mysteriously injured.
Right.
And their friend Suzy, she's actually being questioned by the police.
Oh, wow.
And it's not exactly clear what happened.
Oh.
And so, like, right off the bat, when you look at the reports
Mm-hmm.
of how Tom and Rafa were injured,
Yeah.
it's definitely weird.
Okay.
It wasn't like just a normal accident, you know?
Yeah.
So basically, what we're going to try to do in this deep dive
Mm-hmm.
is piece together what happened
Okay.
by looking through the eyes of Suzy, who was there.
Yeah.
We've got Mandy.
Mm-hmm.
She's a classmate, and she has her own reasons to be concerned. We've got Tiana. She's Rafa's sister, and she's at the hospital looking for answers.
Right.
And then it gets even weirder.
Okay.
We're going to take a trip to another world.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to hear from Zaza and Trat.
All right, this is going to be good.
Each one of them has this, like, unique
Yeah.
and sometimes, like, completely opposite
Oh.
view of what went down.
Okay, so a lot of conflicting information.
Yeah, and it's really up to us to kind of figure out
Yeah.
what parts of the story are true and what parts are maybe,
Right.
you know, embellished or just totally made up.
Okay.
So let's start with Suzy, okay? So
Uh-huh.
she's in this interrogation room, right?
Mm-hmm.
The parents of both of the injured boys are there.
Okay.
I mean, you can imagine the pressure she must be under.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
And her story is that they were all at school really late,
Okay.
studying and shooting hoops.
Uh-huh.
You would think, like, that's the kind of thing you could verify
Yeah.
pretty easily, right?
Yeah.
But then she says, okay, I went home, and I only came back because I forgot my notebook.
Mhm.
And when I got back, Tom and Rafa were already hurt.
No.
What do you think about that?
I mean, when you think about Susie's perspective, it just seems like some of the little things don't quite add up.
Right.
Like forgetting a notebook so late at night.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of feels like, an excuse almost.
Yeah.
And then she insists there wasn't any argument between the boys, right? Even though maybe there's some history there, some tension.
Mm-hmm.
You get the sense that even if the police don't have hard evidence, they're not really buying her story.
Yeah.
They think she's holding back.
Yeah. And it's interesting because at the same time, as all this is going on,
Mm-hmm.
you really get the sense that she cares about these guys.
Oh, okay.
You know, like when her mother hugs her because her mom is so relieved that Susie's okay,
Yeah.
it's like this weight lifts off of her shoulders.
Mm.
You can tell this whole thing is really messing with her emotionally. But then she gets this phone call
Okay.
from April, and this is where it gets really weird.
All right.
So April somehow knows about the incident
Oh, wow.
almost right away.
Okay.
And she's like all worried about Tom, which is understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But for Suzy, who supposedly just found them hurt,
Yeah.
to hear about it so quickly from someone else,
That's pretty strange.
it's just a little too coincidental, isn't it?
Yeah.
And April says she was in the library and heard sirens.
Okay.
And that's possible. But, we'll get into Mandy's point of view later.
All right.
And April's explanation starts to seem a lot less believable after you hear that.
Gotcha.
So despite everything that's going on, Suzy's plan is to stay home tomorrow.
Okay.
But she's going to go back to school on Wednesday and visit her friends in the hospital.
Okay.
It's like she's trying to avoid attention, but she
Yeah.
also wants to be there for them.
Okay.
It's a tough spot.
Yeah, it is.
So let's move on to Mandy's perspective now.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So Mandy's dad calls her and tells her to come straight home
Okay.
because of what happened to Tom and Rafa,
Mm.
which already tells you that this is getting bigger than just the people who were there.
Yeah.
Like, it's spreading.
Right.
And what's interesting is Mandy already kind of knew that Tom and Rafa were involved in something.
Oh,
She doesn't know exactly what, but
yeah.
something's up, right?
Right.
But the really big shocker comes when she looks at her phone.
Okay.
She's got these messages from April,
Mm-hmm.
and April has sent some photos.
Oh.
And these photos are pretty bad.
Okay.
Like Tom is covered in blood
Oh, my gosh.
near the tree where he and Mandy broke up.
Oh.
And then there's another photo of Rafa, and he's being helped by Suzy.
Wow.
And at this point, Mandy thinks Tom's dead.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I mean, when you see those photos, it's just natural to think the worst.
Of course.
So then Mandy texts April
Okay.
And she's like, wait a minute, how did you even get there? Like, how did you know to take those pictures?
Right.
Especially since they had disappeared from the hallway earlier.
Oh.
Remember how Suzy said they were all studying together?
Mm.
Well, Mandy's saying that's not what happened.
Okay.
So that makes Suzy's story even less believable, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Mandy's planning to go to the hospital the next day with April.
Okay.
And she wants to confront Suzy
Oh.
and get the truth out of
All
her.
right.
But then just when Mandy is like really pressing for answers,
Yeah.
April starts talking about a black cat at her window.
Oh, okay.
Like completely changes the subject.
Wow.
It's so weird. It feels
Ooh.
like she doesn't want to answer.
Yeah, maybe deflecting.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so Mandy can't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
She's super worried.
Yeah, of course.
And she's really curious about what really happened.
Yeah.
So Mandy's perspective is really important
Okay.
because it shows us that there are some serious problems with both Suzy's and April's stories.
Gotcha.
Right. So let's go to Tiana now because she goes straight to the hospital to see Rafa.
Okay.
I mean, she's obviously super worried
Yeah.
about her brother, right?
Of course.
And when she talks to Rafa,
Mm-hmm.
he tells her this completely different version of what happened.
Okay.
And remember, Suzy was being kind of vague, right?
Yeah.
Well, Rafa gets specific.
Okay.
He talks about this thing called a shantan.
A shantan.
Yeah, it's like
What's that?
it's like a magical tiger,
Oh, wow.
but it's huge,
Okay.
like the size of a car.
Oh, my goodness.
And he says they were actually fighting it.
Wow. So not just an accident?
No.
They were attacked.
Yeah, they were attacked.
Oh, wow.
And what's interesting is he specifically says that Suzy
Mm-hmm.
found the magic they needed to defeat it,
Oh.
which is totally different from how Suzy described it.
Yeah.
Remember, she was downplaying her role,
Yeah, she was.
but Rafa's saying she was crucial.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's like they were working together as a team. And Rafa even explains how Tom got burned.
Oh.
He says that Tom set the creature on fire
Oh, wow.
with his shirt,
Oh, no.
but then the fire spread to Tom,
Oh.
and that's how he got hurt.
Wow.
So it wasn't intentional, it's
Yeah.
this kind of heroic accident.
Uh.
And Tiana even mentions
Mm-hmm.
that something similar happened before
Oh, really?
at a vacant lot.
Okay.
So it's like this isn't the first time
Wow.
that something strange has happened.
Okay, so there's a pattern.
Yeah, there's a pattern.
Oh, right.
And so Tiana decides to go to Suzy's house the next morning,
Okay.
and then they're going to go to the hospital together to see
Mhm.
Tom.
Okay.
And when they're in the car,
Yeah.
you can really tell that Suzy is exhausted, like emotionally drained.
Yeah.
She talks about how she almost died,
Oh, wow.
but she's still not really taking credit for her role,
Oh, okay.
even though Rafa said she was the one who saved them.
Yeah.
And Tiana tries to distract her by telling her about how her family is moving
Oh.
because of her mom's job.
Okay.
And you can tell she's just trying to be nice
Yeah. Yeah.
and give Suzy a break from all the craziness.
Yeah.
And so they get to the hospital
Okay.
and they meet up with Rafa outside of Tom's room.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it gets even weirder.
Oh, no.
So they're all in Tom's room
Okay.
and he's still unconscious. His eyes are closed.
Right.
And then he starts talking,
Oh.
but it's not Tom's voice.
Oh, wow.
It's the Mago.
the Mago.
Yeah, he's talking through Tom.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, what do you think about that?
That's just wild.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Like so unexpected.
Yeah, totally out of left field.
Totally.
And everyone is completely shocked, right?
Yeah, of course.
But Suzy recognizes the Mago's voice right away.
Okay.
So she's not surprised in that way.
Mm.
And then the Mago says that Tom is hiding something.
Oh.
And it's connected to the enchantment that trapped the shantaning. And he's saying that Tom couldn't have done it alone.
Okay.
And Rafa's like, yeah, we helped.
Mm-hmm.
But the Mago's like, no, that's not enough.
How?
He thinks that Shad, who's Tom's former deity,
Okay.
actually blessed Tom.
Oh, wow.
And that's what saved him.
Oh.
But he also thinks that this blessing could have some really bad consequences, down the line.
Oh.
And of course, Tiana's like, wait a minute, who's Shad?
Right.
Like, we've never even heard of this guy.
Yeah.
And the Mago explains that Shad is kind of a bad influence.
Okay.
And he's really surprised that Tiana even knows about their world,
Wow.
which, by the way, is a whole other can of worms that we're not going to get into today.
Yeah.
And then Rafa mentions that their parents are suddenly noticing things,
Okay.
like things that are off about the Mago.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mago explains that he has these enchantments
Okay.
on his bones.
What?
Yeah, he calls them runes.
Runes.
And they basically mess with how people see him.
Oh, interesting.
So people don't really notice him. Okay. Unless they're really paying attention.
Hmm.
But the magic from the fight with the Chantanane
Yeah.
kind of overloaded his system.
Oh.
And the enchantment stopped working for a little while.
Oh. Okay.
So that's why the parents are noticing things now.
Gotcha.
But he says it's only temporary. So pretty soon they'll go back to not noticing him.
Okay, so they'll forget.
Yeah. And then the Mago warns them about Shad.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells them that Tom is the last person
Yeah.
with Shad's gift.
With Shad's gift.
Yeah. And no one knows if Shad can give it to someone else.
Oh, wow.
And the Mago asks them to keep an eye out
Okay.
for any changes
Yeah.
and to try and figure out what Shad is up to.
Okay.
So they're basically like supernatural detectives now.
Right.
Right?
Right?
And just when he's about to say something else, he just stops,
What?
like mid-sentence.
Oh, no.
And then, get this,
Mhm.
Andy and April show up.
No way.
Yeah, they're at the hospital.
What a coincidence.
I know, right?
Wow.
So everyone is completely surprised.
Yeah.
It's a huge cliffhanger.
Totally.
So now we're going to jump over to Zara,
Oh.
to
yeah.
Zaza's perspective.
Right.
So remember, time works differently in Zara.
Yeah.
So for her, it's been 4 hours since she left Tom.
Okay.
But her sense of time is different,
Right.
And she's at Dishkar's residence.
Okay.
And Dishkar is this big deal in Zara.
Mm-hmm.
She's like an emissary.
Oh.
And Zaza's kind of the same.
Okay.
But I get the sense that Zaza's even more important.
Okay, so she's high up there.
Yeah.
All right.
And they explain how the government in Zara works.
Okay.
And it's really interesting.
How so?
Well, some cities are controlled by deities,
Okay.
and then there's this other system that's like a parliament.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a mix of theocracy and democracy.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's a really cool system.
Yeah.
And Zaza is hoping to govern Muligal one day.
Okay.
She's really ambitious.
Yeah, she sounds like it.
But she keeps getting distracted by
Oh.
thoughts of Tom.
Oh, okay.
She can't stop thinking about him.
Gotcha.
I mean, she's totally smitten.
Yeah.
She talks about how mysterious he is
Mm-hmm.
and different and beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And she keeps replaying their first encounter
Okay.
when he teleported in front of her.
Right.
It's a big moment for her.
Yeah.
And so even though she's like head over heels,
Yeah.
she's also thinking about how to show him Zara
Mm-hmm.
and teach him about magic.
Okay.
It's like she wants him to be part of her world.
Yeah.
And she's even considering binding him to Zara permanently.
Binding him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Magically.
Okay.
And she's going to ask her grandfather, Temelo, to help her.
Okay.
And so she sends a message to Temelo
Mm-hmm.
to come to Dishkar's residence.
Okay.
And as she's going to find Tom,
Yeah.
she sees Dishkar's comitiva.
Okay.
And Dishkar herself is talking to Tom,
Oh, wow.
which she finds really strange.
Yeah.
And Dishkar looks really impressive. She's tall, and she's wearing these clothes that are kind of like what Carr wears,
Mm-hmm.
but they have all these gold details.
Wow.
And she has this huge sword,
Oh, my goodness.
and her hair is almost white blonde.
Okay.
And she has yellow eyes, like Zaza.
Oh, okay.
And then, get this,
Mm-hmm.
Dishkar introduces Tom as her old friend, Marifa Mile.
What?
Yeah, Marifa Mile.
Well, I don't understand.
I know.
Who is Tom?
And Tom's acting like he doesn't even know Zaza.
Wow.
And he's speaking differently.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah, it's like he's a totally different person. And then they leave
Okay.
Dishkar and Marifa Mile.
Mm-hmm.
They go to Dishkar's private quarters. And Zaza's just standing there like,
Wow.
what just happened?
Right.
And she's really confused and annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
So she decides to go to the room
Okay.
where Tom was spending the morning
Okay.
to see if she can find any clues.
Oh, all right.
So now we're going to go to Trat's perspective
Okay.
because she's the one who really ties all of this together.
Oh, okay.
So Trat's on this train
Mm-hmm.
and it explodes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Is she? Okay.
Well, she gets thrown off the train
Oh, wow.
and she's hurt pretty bad.
Oh, no.
And the train keeps going.
Okay.
There's no way for her to catch up.
Right.
But luckily,
Mm.
she's able to summon this magical fountain.
A magical fountain.
Yeah, it's made of obsidian
Wow.
and it's for healing.
Okay.
And it's this really intricate sculpture.
Okay.
It's a circle,
Mm-hmm.
and there's this Zarian figure with wings
Oh,
and a serpent tail,
wow.
and the water flows from its eyes and hands.
Oh, my goodness.
It's pretty amazing.
Ah.
And liquid is red.
Okay.
And so she gets in the fountain,
Mm-hmm.
and it starts to heal her injuries.
Wow. So it really works.
Yeah.
Okay.
And while she's healing,
Mm-hmm.
she starts thinking about the bracelet
Oh, the bracelet.
that Zaza tried to give to Tom.
Right.
And she realizes that it's a device
Okay.
that's used to bind someone to a master.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's from when Zara had slavery,
Oh,
which they abolished a long time ago.
okay.
But the bracelets still exist,
Right.
and Trat knows about them
Mm-hmm.
because of Zonal,
Okay.
her deity.
Right.
And so she's like, oh no, Zaza's trying to control Tom.
Oh, my goodness.
And she decides to go to Tumulo's house.
Okay.
Because that's where she took Tom for magic lessons, remember?
Yeah.
And so she gets to the house,
Hmm.
and Tumulo's super suspicious of her
Yeah.
because she's all messed up from the train explosion.
Yeah.
But she explains that she knows Tom,
Okay.
and she asks Temulo if the person who gave Tom his address
Mm-hmm.
was an emissary.
Oh, okay.
And when Temulo finds out that it was Zaza,
Yeah.
he's like, okay, come on in.
Oh.
So they go inside,
Mm-hmm.
and Trat tells him about the train exploding.
Oh, okay.
And Temulo is shocked.
Yeah.
And he doesn't believe her at first.
Right.
And then Temulo introduces himself properly.
Okay.
He's Temulo Go.
Temulo Go.
And he's really surprised when Trat tells him her name.
Oh.
She's Trat Zanal.
Trat Zane
And he's like, wow, you're a Zanal follower.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see many of those in Bushkar. And Trat's like, yeah, I've come a long way.
Right.
And then she asked Temulo about Zaza.
Okay.
Like, why is she so obsessed with Tom?
Yeah.
And how did she even find him?
Right.
And Temulo says that Zaza thinks of Tom as her first husband.
Her first husband.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. It's a little creepy, right?
Yeah.
And he thinks that she's lost control.
Oh.
Like she's not thinking straight.
Mm.
And so Trat's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Where did you get that bracelet?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And Temulo explains that the Gaul emissaries used to use them.
Okay.
And then they were confiscated
Oh.
when slavery was abolished.
Right.
And he's surprised that Trat even recognizes it.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, well, I do similar work.
Oh.
And then she accidentally tells him that she works for the pest control brigade
Okay.
in Bushkar.
Oh.
And she immediately regrets it
Right.
because that's a big secret.
Yeah.
But she keeps asking about how Zaza found Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And Temulo says that Zaza recorded Tom's amandla.
His amandla.
Yeah, it's like his internal energy
Oh, interesting.
during a magic lesson.
Okay.
And it's really hard to recognize someone's amandla
Okay.
in a big city.
Right.
But Tom's amandla is super complex.
Okay.
So Zaza can track him.
So she can predict when he'll come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And Trat's really torn because she doesn't want to get in the way
Yeah.
of an emissary.
Right.
But she also wants to protect Tom
Of course.
because he shared his world with her.
Right.
And so she asks Temulo what he's going to do.
Okay.
And Temulo thinks that Zaza took Tom to Dishkar's residence,
Okay.
which he says is like the worst possible place.
Oh, no.
And Trat's like, well, there's no way we could just go in there and grab him. And Temulo's like, no, we have to be smarter about this.
Okay.
He's going to try to talk to Zaza.
All right.
And he promises to keep Trat in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
But he tells her to be really careful
Okay.
and not to tell anyone.
Right.
And Trat's like, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to involve the guard
Okay.
because Zaza's too powerful.
Yeah.
So Trat leaves,
Mm-hmm.
and she's still really frustrated.
Yeah.
But at least now she knows where Tom probably is.
Right.
And that he's not in immediate danger.
Okay.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
it's clear that this story is a lot more complicated
Yeah.
than it seemed at first.
Definitely.
We've got all these different perspectives, and they're
Yeah.
all kind of contradicting each other.
And there are all these unanswered questions.
Yeah, like a ton of them.
A ton.
So Suzy's alibi is falling apart,
Right.
and Mandy doesn't trust her or April,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
Tiana is trying to figure out what really happened to Rafa.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the Mago who's talking through Tom and warning everyone about Shad.
Right.
And then in Zara,
Mm-hmm.
Zaza's obsessed with Tom,
Yeah.
and she might be trying to control him.
Mm.
And Trat is trying to save him.
Right.
It's a mess.
It really is.
But it's also super fascinating,
Oh, absolutely. Totally.
So what do you think is going to happen next?
Well, I think the biggest question is what's Shad going to do? Like,
Yeah.
is he going to try to get Tom back? Or is he going to do something else entirely?
Right.
And then what about this Marifa Miles?
Yeah.
Like, who is this person?
Right. Is it really Tom?
Yeah. Is it Tom pretending?
Yeah. Or is it someone else?
Or is it like a totally different person?
Yeah. And if it is Tom,
Mm-hmm.
is he doing it on purpose?
Right. Like, is he trying to trick Zaza?
Yeah.
Or is he being controlled by her?
Yeah. Or by someone else.
Or by someone else, exactly.
Like Dishkar.
Yeah. Dishkar.
It's so crazy.
It's wild.
And then what about the Magaz warnings?
Yeah, those were pretty serious.
Yeah, like what's going to happen with that?
Right. What are the consequences of Shad's blessing?
And how are all these events in Zara going to affect Tom and his friends?
Exactly. It's all connected.
Yeah, it's totally connected.
Totally.
So we've got a lot to think about.
Oh, we do.
And I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens next.
All right. Well, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Me too. This is just getting good.
It is.
So let's all keep our eyes peeled and our ears open.
Right.
And maybe we'll get some answers. Expert speaker.